Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of LinkedOut, a show where we interview local business owners, hear their stories, learn from their mistakes, their inspirations, and how they're making it in Dubai. And today we have a new guest with us. Welcome to the show. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Emmanuele Fiorito. I'm the owner of Don Fiorito, which is a Tailor inspired brand, fashion brand in Dubai.
Well, nice to meet you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for coming. I think the producers of this show brought you here for a very specific reason. They're like, our host really needs help because they've seen the outfits that I've been wearing. No, but looking at you, it's very clear what you do. And if your clients dress like this as well, I think you have some very happy clients.
Obviously, I need to represent the brand in a
100%.
manner, yeah, and also start from the owner itself. So
100%.
I think has been one of my core elements that helped me also to understand that this was the direction I want to take in life.
Yeah.
So the way I dress is then eventually what I do also for work. Yeah.
Because if it's not something you would wear, then why would you recommend it to your clients?
And obviously it comes down to personality, because not everybody can, I'll say, pull up some of the look, Yeah, correct.
Not everyone's well built like you,
No, yeah, I would say with somebody, yeah, but sometimes it's boldness. Yeah, I have some of my jacket, they're very questionable, when you see them, because obviously I think a jacket is a silk, purple, shining, very nice. So you notice me when I enter to a room. So obviously this is not something I suggest to all my clients, but yeah, there is a degree of style that comes down with the personality,
Okay, got you. So where are you from?
I'm Italian, from southern part of Italy, Napoli, the famous city for pizza and many other things, but I think pizza is the best thing.
And did you grow up in Napoli?
I grew up in Napoli, yeah, born and raised. I moved out from Italy, from Napoli itself, maybe around 19, as soon as I got my degree from hotel management school. I moved out of my city and house to start my career. I moved at the center of Italy, around Perugia. I work in Venice, and then 2021 I went to UK in London. I stayed in London for a little bit. That's where I think my English got obviously better because I pushed myself out of the comfort zone, but also when I start to really, my sense of style start to be much more defined, even into the industry I was. I think that's where London, I think, opened the eyes of people that arrived there. Is the center of the world for me. One of the cities that, yeah, for sure Europe, but for the world, because London offer everything, any sort of a crush of culture they mix there. So I think helped me a lot to define my style. Then I moved to Amsterdam. In a few years after, I just I spent an year and a half there. Also very, I say very key city for my style development. Amsterdam is very small niche. The city of gold, the city of diamond. Everybody's told to meet her. Many of the model fashion brand passed through Amsterdam to their launch, makeup. So I think it was a very good window in what fashion eventually could have been for me. And then Dubai, 2015.
Okay, nice. You mentioned Peru?
No, Perugia, yeah. Perugia is the center of Italy, yeah.
I thought Peru was in South America.
Peru is in South America. Perugia is a city in Italy.
Oh, it's different?
Yeah. Peru one day, but no.
I wouldn't know. We barely get the visa. It's right.
Yeah.
You mentioned Venice as well. So what made you travel to all these places? Because there's not a lot to do in Venice apart from hotels. It's a tourist hub, right? So what were you doing? What made you travel so much?
I think there's always been a sense of, my mindset has been always, if we need to do something, we need to do properly, So I think passing through the city that back then I was in hospitality. So passing through city that where the service the culture of the food, the hospitality is teach from. There is an heritage, there is a culture. I think was one of my thing that I wanted to do in a young age. I wanted to know about white truffle, the wine, caviar. I wanted to know about this thing, and I think has been advantage as a big advantage of my career, because obviously when you do this in a young age, it help you to then develop and get much more skilled also in the work that I was doing. So that's why I think traveling and understand culture and understand hospitality at certain degrees and level and culture, I think has helped me a lot. Yeah.
Okay. And I think hospitality is already a big part of the Italian culture, right? The Italian roots. That's why some of the best restaurants, even when it comes to fashion, some of the biggest brands were born in Italy or born from the brain of Italian designers and chefs. So I see how that happened. And what were you doing in hospitality?
I originally I wanted to be a chef. So it's a funny story. Outside my house, there is a fashion designing and photography school, art school. I wanted to go to that school. In my family, there is a craft. A brother of my father is making handmade shoes. My mom used to be a tailor in a young age. I always wear tailored items. It's in the culture, in the family. Everybody's wearing a tailor suit or shirt or pants or shoes can be. But my family was not agreeing with me when I wanted to choose a school. They suggested me to maybe try hospitality school, hotel management school, which then, I took it. So originally I wanted to be a chef, but then as I grew in understanding the dynamic of a chef life and front of house, so waiter, manager, and a maître d'hôtel back then, I think this is where I saw myself much more prone to succeed, to be a face people, to be the front of house. So I started as I think my first job was commis de rang, which is lowest than waiter. So you support the waiter.
You were chopping the vegetables and the onions.
No, even I was at the back of the house. All the glasses, cutlery, plate, stuff need to be polished. So I start from there.
Okay.
My first assignment was to clean. I think it was maybe about 1,000 chair in a big ballroom in Venice, to clean the leg of the chair. So this was one of my first assignments.
The leg of the chair?
Yeah. I think maybe for the first...
Like the bottom?
The bottom, yeah. The little full leg and bottom of the chair.
Why? Who checks this?
This is what I mean.
Okay.
So I think for me, understanding the fundamental of hospitality in Italian way has been opening door for my career, because we focus on the details. Hospitality, we call hospitalian because it's in all the details, right? So the way we serve the coffee, the sauce, the spoon, the leg of the chair, the way we dress, the papillon, the color, this and the napkins, all this sort of stuff, I think is what make Italian hospitality so popular and famous in the world, along many others, but I think Italian, not because I'm Italian, I'm proud, obviously, but yeah, I would say Italian. Do it better, yeah.
It's all right. Don't worry. We don't have a lot of French followers.
Yeah,
so.
Correct. I don't want to go there.
It's all right. It's all right. I've been to both, and I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
So you started as a commis in the hotel, and then when you started moving up within hospitality, did you then go into more of the front desk facing side, or did you go into more of the chef?
No, front of us, purely front of us.
Purely front of us.
So I left the chef part, even though, and I've always been fascinated about recipe and all, but I want to be somebody who then be able to translate the passion of a chef in the ingredient to how then we either sell or propose to a guest. And I think has been always, one of my skills to do this, to put the passion behind and make sure that the chef get, say, the glory by, explain all the dishes in the passages, the technique, how they, what's the idea behind the dish. So I always pursue this, and so I started as a commis, then I become waiter, then you become, I think each country has a different hierarchy, but in Italy it's waiter, then supervisor, assistant maître, director, all this sort of, I'm a little bit confused between Italy and UK, but UK is very straightforward. You have waiter, assistant waiter, runner, Then you have supervisor, assistant manager, restaurant manager, general manager, director of operation, director of food and beverage, and so on. Yeah, so
Okay.
I reach all. So
Okay.
my last experience here was operational manager for one of the hotel here in Dubai. Yeah.
And so that's what brought you to Dubai, still hospitality?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So I came here 2015.
Okay, 2015.
For Jumeirah. I was working Jumeirah.
Oh, okay.
Jumeirah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So, which was a great thing because
Yeah.
I think Jumeirah is one of the best.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Best hotel. Obviously, it's a local driven, cultural, really infrastructure. The look and feel really, I think, recall a lot about the Middle East. Jumeirah for me is one of the best hotel group to work worldwide. They don't have a lot around the globe, but I think in Dubai they are the best. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say they are the best.
Before we start talking about your business, because something that I noticed, be it in Venice, when I visited Venice or Rome, I think the name of Italian stores and restaurants are, to us non-Italian speakers, it sounds very unique, you know. I went to two restaurants in Venice where I actually asked the restaurant owner or the manager, what does this mean? One of the restaurant names was bow tie in Italian. I don't remember what the Italian word is, but translated to English, it means bow tie. The other one was waistcoat. So I'm like, wow, you're chefs and business restaurant owners, but there's fashion here as well. And you know, when they bring you a dish, because of the hospitality that you mentioned, and all the attention to detail, as he's filleting the fish in front of me, he's telling me, today this is fresh catch, and this is how we cook it. Very bad Italian accent. And I'm just sitting there like, when do I get to eat? When do I get to eat? So you moved to Dubai in 2015, and now you've got your own business. When did you start the business?
As I mentioned, I always had this idea to start a fashion brand. I always dress tailored. People recognize that.
Yeah.
I say you should start a fashion brand. I always receive this comment that people ask me suggestion how to dress up and all this sort of stuff. So I think that's where I start to recognize that I wanted to do something different. Also because as I progress in my career, I reach a corporate level where I felt that we lose now the essence of service. It's not anymore about people. It's become about numbers. Now people become numbers, and I was not okay with this.
Okay.
Because I always been a big promoter of experience, guest journey, all of these.
So guest relationships.
Correct. Yeah. So as I reach the corporate world, that's where I understand that this is not what I wanted to do. So for me was, a big realization which came with a lot of cost, because now I had to decide either to be in an industry unhappy for the rest of my life and keep on pursue it because that's what I studied and I'm good at, or then make the shift of the life. So I realized in 2017 that I had not enough knowledge to match the industry. Dubai, you need to be competitive. Even being Italian is not enough. It's not because Italian you can open a fashion brand or a restaurant. You need to have knowledge behind. So I tried to launch my fashion brand in 2017. Didn't work well because I was missing a lot of fundamental. So I went back, I came in. That's where I started to study everything that I was passionate about it. I started from fabric, construction, tailoring in general. I get course for pattern, how to understand the garment itself. I don't want just to have a fashion brand. So I went in details from the button to the threads to the label to the care label and whatever is involved. 2020 pandemic happened. That's where I think I saw my life really on a binary and say, so what you want to do now? Now you have the time to plan, strategize. You are not working now. We are all at home. Now is a good time for you to do so. That's what happened. So I launched my brand in August 2020.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yeah.
Honestly, and that too in peak pandemic. So you're from a background perspective, you come from a family of people that are in the fashion industry. Then you moved to hospitality, and they wanted you to move to hospitality, which you did, and you succeeded in that, and then you moved back into fashion. What was their response on that? Because when you leave your home, if you're moving within Europe, if you're moving within Italy itself, it's a bit more understanding, acceptable, because the risk is less. Now you're moving across the ocean, and you're leaving something that you've done for 10, 15 years and doing something from scratch and starting your own thing. You're putting your financials at risk. You're putting your name on the line. So what was the reaction that you got from people around you, your family?
Obviously, as you mentioned, I think for us living abroad, our family will always, I think, live with a sense of worry, even if it has not been shared, a worry that becomes supportive towards us, right? But I'm sure that when I told this to my mother and my father, that they felt like, what are you doing? Because, you are 30 now and you shift a career where, you are in conservative mindset, they will think that we are already in a half life. 30s are here that you need to settle now. But in my case, was 30s the year that I need to make the call. So obviously, the way they took it was obviously supportive, but I'm sure that deep down they were like, okay, it's just be careful, because this is something that you don't know. This is not your comfort zone. This is not your, your service and stuff. So yeah. But at the very same time, I think it's also good. I think I'm not a parent in the future, by God's grace, but I presume for a parents, the best satisfaction is see you happy in any sort of degrees, either as a waiter or as a tailor or any possible career or anything that we do. As long as we are happy and we represent them well, I think a parent it's more than joyful to support.
No, especially that's why I think this is the beauty of Dubai. There's people that moved here, they were in construction, but now they're on a billboard in an ad for Hugo Boss, right? And there's so many stories like that, and that's what we all love about not just the city, the country on its own. There's so many success stories, and this is why we're so happy that you're here as well, to share your success story. So what is the name of your boutique?
Don Fiorito.
Don
Fiorito. Obviously, I took my surname. I want to bring the surname forward. Don in Italy is somebody who, there is always, as you mentioned, there is always a meaning.
Do I need to kiss your ring or something?
No, but Don is a title that old wise people get, okay?
Okay.
So my grandfather used to be a Don, not because he was in any sort of criminal organization, but more because they become wise. And there is, I don't know, you've been to Italy, you saw outside those bars, there is the group of friends, the old man, they always dress well, they always shaved, they always precise, effortless, stylish. So that's a Don, A Don is somebody who has lived a life and has experience and dressed in a certain way, in a manner, Italian, he knows about life. So, that's why I put Don Fiorito. Obviously, we see this in a movie. We see Don Corleone, but for the same principle is, I'll say, probably in criminality, in that area, work as you are the head of, but you're the most experienced to lead the family. So in a way or the other,
the wise one, the leader, almost.
Correct. The Don.
Okay, that was one of my first questions. I was like, do you have any background with some gang family? No. Okay, I didn't know that. But and I know the people that you're talking about, like, because it's a group of old men, well-tailored pants and shirt tucked in. They're probably retired, but they're still dressed so sharp, and they're sipping on their espresso, sitting outside the store. And I remember the looks that they were giving me. I'm walking around in baggy jeans and Jordans, and they gave me this look. And I looked at their outfit. I'm like, I'm going to go back to Dubai and burn my entire wardrobe, because of the way these 70-year-old men were dressed. It's so classy. So
and
classy, right?
This is eventually the essence of the Don, right?
Yes.
So even I saw my grandfather until last day wearing his jacket, his pants, his shoes always clean. And I think what I would say, one of the beautiful part of that era in general, probably in
the generation.
Correct. That it is sort of coming back now, even in fashion, is that they care about stuff. And they care about the look, not because of what is our outward, what's their reputation of. It's because that's the way we present. We present in a certain way, we talk in a certain way, we have manner, we eat in a certain way. The value. This I think was that's why when I see somebody with baggy jeans and Jordan, there is nothing wrong eventually for our generation. For that generation, is something like against the value. Why you don't take care about yourself? Why you grow your beard and not shave every day?
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you. I feel better about myself.
That don't.
I was so worried interviewing you. I was like, when is he gonna make fun of my outfit? But no, it's so where's the boutique located?
We open at the back of downtown, so towards Healthcare City. Is in a street. Yeah, I would say Oud Mehta, Whole Dubai. Yeah, we're just at the back between the Whole Dubai and New Dubai.
Okay.
One of the reasons I like the area is because, obviously, it's because of this. Old Dubai and New Dubai is also a symbol of, but also because I noticed that the center of Dubai is getting extra trafficked and populated. So people tend now. I used to have a showroom before in Business Bay. When I used to tell people I'm in Business Bay, people was like, "Oh, okay, so I cannot come between this time and this time and this time and this time." So I think it's also good to explore different area. Yeah, for my sort of target client, I think it's still a good location. Yeah.
Okay, and so you said you moved from Business Bay to Healthcare City. Actually, we'll take a step back. When you were actually setting up the business, what was that process like? Like, for example, now even if you meet friends, oh, you have a boutique, you have a fashion brand, but a lot of people forget that there's a lot of the admin work that goes into setting it up,
100%.
setting up a business, specifically your business. So what was that process like trade license? What did you have to do?
Yeah, I think one of my suggestions I give to everybody who want to start a business, especially in Dubai, is understand we are foreign here. We want to be familiar with the law of this country and city. This is what eventually my previous industry helped me to understand a lot. So if we have a logo, we don't have a business. A business comes the moment you have trademark has been registered. So I would say once your idea they're well defined and you have pivot your idea out there, get legal straight away. So I think this was the first thing I had to understand is how do I get legal? What's the difference between mainland and a free zone? What's the benefit of one or the other? So I think the whole aspect of the legal part of the company was very important for me to understand. Then this helped me to set up many other area of the business,
Because as the business owner, it's not just, you shouldn't just know about the industry that you're launching in, but also you need to educate yourself about the laws and regulations and things are also changing. So how did you educate yourself? Was it just doing research online? Did you hire someone like a PRO or a lawyer?
Yeah. I think a lot of connection that I did in Dubai helped me to develop also the right strategy to approach, right? One of my best friends, she has a big agency, creative agency in Dubai, so marketing, branding, all this sort of stuff, and then obviously translate into legal part of the business. I think a lot of connection helped me. That's why I love Dubai also, there is a sense of when we see people progressing, is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
We want people progressing. As you mentioned before, we want people coming as a food operator, a driver, and then become, whatever they wanted to become. So I think Dubai offered this. And the reason why Dubai is different than any other place in the world is because nobody's trying to step you in the progress of. If you have an idea, Dubai fill that idea with the mindset of the people. So I think had the right people around me helped me a lot to make the right decision and not trust just somebody that, maybe an ad, that say, hey, get a license with that amount and that's it. I think has always been good to have the right people around me that helped me to take the right decision. Yeah.
Okay. And what made you decide, so we know why you decided to open in Healthcare City, but before that you were in Business Bay. What made you decide to open in Business Bay first?
The business model I had before was private appointment only. So I used to go around and do the private appointment, and in the showroom we just showcase some of the items and then do the appointment. Some there, but obviously I think in the beginning I offered the service. Also being in the industry, I wanted to be on the road. Being new in the industry, I wanted to be on the road. So the reason we shift from this business model to the current business model, which is a functional shop where people can come and see us, is because we split the production and in two, basically. Now there is small production and a guest viewing, so people can come to the shop, and then there is another production at the back of it, so that support the small shop. Yeah. So before it was just plain showroom. People could not see what is behind. But now if you come to my shop, there is an area that I put a little bit of my previous hospitality experience into it. So there is an area that has an actual bar. I like to say that it's the first fabric bar in Dubai, but eventually it's an actual bar counter in marble, and then at the back there is all the fabric book where people come, they can choose, we can discuss the style and all. And then in the middle of a shop there is a glass window. Because this was also one of the things I tried to answer in my business in the market. Like, why do I want to be different? It's because I want to be transparent in whatever we do. For the fabric selection that we do, where we produce the item, which is very important. And I think Dubai is a very great hub for business owner and also new fashion brand to come and say, this is made in Dubai, with the Italian heritage, with the Italian experience, with the Italian, whatever skill set we bring here, but is Dubai made. And I think I get a lot of good feedback for this. So.
Okay. And what about your recruitment process for the people that you hired when you started? So how many people work for you? How did you pick them?
At the moment, tailoring is very, I had a lot of knowledge about, hiring people when it comes out to hospitality. You go to a recruitment agency and they send you CV. But tailoring is a little bit different because you want to make sure that they understand your style of tailoring, right? So if I need to compare, it's like a chef coming from French cuisine to an Italian cuisine or vice versa, okay? So in order to
There'll
do
be
this...
a fight.
Correct, yeah. So some people, they come with a very different, strong fundamental of tailoring, which they are not mine today. I know the basic of, I know how full everything is constructed, but I like always to tweak and add on, okay? So I think the recruitment has been a one-to-one. I always want people make stuff for me. So the moment they understand the style of tailoring I want, I ask them to make something for me, which is eventually as you ask a chef to make a plate of pasta for you, right? So there is one dish that you always ask the chef to see if they know how to cook. It's spaghetti aglio e olio or peperoncino. If they don't know how to do aglio e olio, most probably they won't even know how to do a ragu. Similar for me. So if they don't know how to do for instance, one of the notch lapel, this one, that is the classic lapel of a suit, most probably won't be able to move forward to any degree of design that we want to do, so yeah.
And how many tailors do you have now?
At the moment we have 3 in the Don Ferrito and 2 in the other side, so total we are about 6 people, 7 people.
Okay.
Yeah, plus.
And are they all Italian or everyone's from all over the world?
No, yeah, I found it enough satisfying to find even tailor from India.
Yeah.
I think one of my master tailor come from 5 generations of tailor.
From India.
Yeah. That's the only thing they know. And I don't think we should never minimize any sort of nation into this. You know what I mean? Yes, Italian, they do have, as you mentioned before also, the ideas, the culture and all. We need to pass through the next generation. And sometimes next generation is not Italian. It can be in any other country. We should never, stop the progress or the development of a brand just because, it need to be only Italian, only French. I think I'm very far away from this because if I want to work with only Italian, I stay in Italy, right? I didn't put myself out in the most multicultural, different city in the world.
Beautiful, because then you're also then getting the expertise of, in your case, for example, 5 generations of craftsmanship that was created and learned in a completely different continent, and so he's bringing that and your vision and your craft and merge it together. I think that's actually great.
And there is so many perk for this because, as you mentioned, you bring 2 culture now together. You bring 2 different idea. And then none of them is wrong, right? Obviously, we have our style. But the moment you put the craft of the fabric, the Italian, the culture, the knowledge of, and then you put you in the craftsmanship of, even in India Asia has a lot of
With textile,
textile is all Asia. If Asia stop, most probably the rest of the world stopped. I always try to have this analogy with people because they think that Italy, we are the best in a lot of things. We are the best in weaving. We don't have sheep to make wool. So there is a lot of dynamic that people don't know about textile. So I think if we remove Asia out of the context, we lose a big part of what textile is,
Okay. All right. And, like I've grown up in Dubai, and textile has been a very big part of Dubai here, because you've got different wholesale markets here as well. You've got, within the wholesale markets, you've got people that specialize in just velvet, people that specialize in different blends of cotton. Obviously that's progressing as well, which started off from that, and it's a port city. People were shipping this to different parts of the world. Now you have Dubai Fashion Week. That's famous all across the world. There's Abu Dhabi Fashion Week launching. So from your point of view, have you visited these places?
Oh, yeah. I think this is what I mean. It will be naive for me to not consider those sort of places as a business owner, because you want to understand the strength of. So when I know that in Dubai there is a place called Textile City or Textile Souk or Bur Dubai it's held by Tailor.
Yeah.
Big name of Tailor shop they are in Bur Dubai. And so it will be naive for a business owner not to consider the strength also of this part of the world, right? Strength and weakness. So I met here great supplier when it comes down to denim, jeans, cotton. Asia obviously influence, but also India, a lot of India. There is some of the fabric that they're just typical from India, Kashmir itself. Like there is so many things that people don't know when it comes down to this connection. Dubai is a window to the Middle East and Asia when it comes down to textile. So that's why a lot of trade here happen on two dimensions, one towards Asia, from Europe to Asia, and vice versa. So here I also met many distributors of big Italian brands, Emmanuele, Ropiana, Zegna, Drago, L'Italia Barberi Canonico. They all have an office here in Dubai that supply the rest of the Middle East and GCC country. So it's a very big thing. I think I don't know numbers, but I'm sure they have some very substantial number when it comes out to textile. So, and it's beautiful to go. You go to Bur Dubai, are safe. You see all this shop. You go inside. It is culture. It is colorful. I think probably my first content for my brand, they start in this specific place,
In Bur Dubai?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bur Dubai, and there is all the textile souk, where there are very suggestive area that you can go. And there is some of the fabric that they are, some of the blend, as you mentioned, some of the blend, some of the composition, they are not familiar to us in Europe, right? So has been eye-opening, but also I think it stimulates the creativity of. This is why events like Dubai Fashion Week is really representing this, because now we merge this, the culture, the Indian, the Pakistani, the Iranian, everything that happen in this part of the world. I think when we are able to translate into design, it's really put us in a high position into fashion,
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think that would also help you as a business owner in terms of your inventory, right? Because I've been to this market. My father used to be in textile as well. So I've seen this market evolve, and businesses open, shut down very, very fast. I think that opens a lot of doors for you in terms of, this is what I'm used to, this is what I've experienced in, but I can also buy local. This is what I have easily accessible to me, or this is how I would create a fusion of what I know and what's available to me. Has that happened to you? Have you utilized that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, there is obviously there is a difference between fabric. Tailoring, especially, we focus a lot on wool blend. For me, I try to stay away as much as possible from anything that is petrol based or polyester, anything that is chemical. So we want to have a natural fiber here. But obviously, the difference between a fabric that I find here and in Italy is marketing and brand behind. In Italy, you have institution from 1663. They produce wool. There is a very big name. There's, as I mentioned, European Zegna. So these are institutions of. They have their own ship. They make their own wool. They ship from New Zealand, Australia. They ship to Italy. They wave. They dye. This is a different story. But a product here won't have the same appealing of.
Okay.
Doesn't mean the quality is not the same. So you can wear some very A-grade wool material that you find here on this market. They come eventually from Asia, but with the same end result of top premium fabric.
So the quality could be the same. It's just that brand name.
A non-connoisseur of this will never be able to understand this and that.
Okay.
But I tried this many times, even as a trick. I present to a client a fabric that is from Asia, great value, great touch and feel, by telling them this is one of the Italian brand and this is coming up. They love the fabric, and then I present them an Italian fabric, maybe on a different grade, and they touch it. No, I prefer the other one. When I tell them that this is an Asian-based fabric that we find here in Dubai in the market locally to support also local business, they are shocked, because we are reaching the level of matching the quality of.
Okay.
So I think it would be silly not to consider. Yeah.
And it also makes it more accessible to everyone to have good quality, tailored outfits versus, because those brands will charge a premium because, as you said, they're institutions.
We're looking at 50, 60, 70% more than of price. So fabric can reach, for a specific brand, can reach up to $2,000, $3,000 per meter. This affect a lot the end product, obviously, for a client. Some people spend this money regardless, easy to buy, but you still want to be able to offer a good quality product in an affordable way.
Yep.
And on a business perspective, you still need to consider that anytime you ship a cut of fabric or a roll, anything from Italy, you still pay 5% added on tax on imported goods.
Plus duty and everything. Yep.
These are things you want to consider, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not just top line, it's also bottom line, what mattered the most. So yeah.
And when you were setting up the business, did you face any challenges?
I think I start, and then the some of the taxes that were added on. There was even VAT, the structure and everything what was added on. Corporate tax was added on after. So I start from a point, and then slowly I develop also with the taxing system of the UAE. So I think this was a challenge also to encounter, to make sure that to respect, as I mentioned, the law, to make sure that everything is comply with the request of Dubai. So yeah, I think this was a challenge, for us to understand this, and also how to structure it, price, and how to make sure that the price that we structure it is a fair price for everybody, and to comply with the law and regulation. So this was a challenge in a way. I think find the location also has been slightly challenging. Rents, they're going up. Rent is one of the fixed expenses that we need to consider a lot when it comes out to business. DFC can reach up to 300,000, 400,000 dirham per rent per year. This is a big rent that you put on your shoulder. I think myself, I didn't receive any sort of investment. These were all my money, all my savings.
All your savings, okay.
So I wanted to be wise and choose a place of. This is why originally my business model was on private appointment, because we took a small laboratory. We were just producing on laboratory without having the possibility to have clients visit us. So I had to be the shop moving around. So this has been challenging. Doing sometime, Dubai traffic is very well known. We know that from downtown to the Palm is taking an amount of time. How many times at the beginning of my journey in business, I used to go to an appointment at the end of, one and only, the end of the Palm, coming from downtown, to then go there and maybe do one single punt only. And, like all this, this is the challenge that I had to adjust as the business grow, right? To make sure that I stay humble, I still providing a service, and praise God, either with £1 or 10 suit, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So these were some of the, I think system, if I need to comprehend in one single word, system was challenging at the beginning to set up the business. Yeah.
Okay. I think there's something that you mentioned now, which I think is so creative, because there's so many people that have an idea. They might be working a day job and they have an idea for a business. Might not be groundbreaking or brand new, but they have a concept that they want to explore. But there's always one or two things that are stopping them, right? In your case, you had the investment to set up the lab, as you call it, right? But then no place for a showroom. So how do your clients see what you have to offer? And then you used yourself. You became the walking, driving showroom. You're dressed apart. When you're well built and everything. The suits fit you well. So when you go and see your clients, they already see, this is what I can get. I can look like this. And doing that instead of saying, no, I need to wait 2-3 more years to save up, to have a boutique where clients can come and see, and it needs to be this, it needs to have all of this. I think it's genius that you didn't wait for that. You started with what you have and make it work. You found a way to make it work. And I think that's so creative to do that.
I don't think we'll never reach the point to be anywhere near ready to do something, you know?
Yeah.
Where plus we are human being. The moment we achieve something, we have an ability that we want to achieve more. The moment I got the lab, I want to have the shop. The moment I have the shop, I want to have the bigger shop. You know, and this is an innate thing that is in our nature. But at the same time, as you mentioned, if we allow more things to stop us, we will never start. You know, and obviously it's a very well-known phrases. Very popular in the mindset, personal development world, and say, you know, you just start, just go for it. But reality is just go for it. I don't think I was never fully confident that okay, I'm ready for this. I don't know. Sometimes I have my business best friend that we talk, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know what's going on, man. Trust me, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know how. Sometimes one client comes through. We need to pay rent. We need to pay salary. Sometimes it's okay to tell people that when you're running business, don't expect that you will understand everything. You, most of the time, you will feel discombobulated, staring at the wall for a good 45 minutes before to take a decisive action, because you are the one that they are expecting you to take an action for, a decision for. And it's okay. And it's okay. We should never trivialize or glamorize the business and say, no way, you start the business, everything is going to be okay. No, at all.
Yeah, no, there's work involved. You got to put in the work.
Yeah, but also difficulties that they will try to stop you. You know, all those small things, they will try to stop you, and it's not easy to keep up. But I think the mindset should be, you know.
Yeah, I think what you also mentioned, how you had the lab, then you wanted the boutique, then you've got the boutique. Now you probably want another boutique. You probably want an online store. You want more tailors. But these are the end goal. Is still the brand that you want to create, the vision that you have, but then you've broken them down into smaller, not small, but more attainable milestones for like 2-3 year goals that you can achieve. Because otherwise, if you have this vision for your brand and it doesn't happen in 5 years, it becomes overwhelming. You start thinking you're a failure.
Yeah.
But you have to break down those goals.
Yeah, and there is satisfaction, you know, in achieving this sort of stuff, right? As character, I don't have this thing that, you know, I stop and, you know, I sort of gratify myself for the achievement, because I always on the go. I'm always on up. I would say I'm never satisfied, which is a double-edged sword sometimes, right? So, but I think it's good to make sure that, as you mentioned, we share the goal in small achievement that we can keep on full the bigger goal, you know. And this is where I find joy, you know. I think is to make sure that even today, you know, it might be one shirt or 1 pound or one suit or 10 or 15 or a trip to Saudi, the business is up and running.
Yeah.
And there is a joy to this, you know.
And, you know, since hospitality is a big part of what you do now as well, do you still have the clients from back in the day when you were
This is my first
around?
client, yeah.
You still have those
so
clients?
So yeah, I need to thank hospitality for this, because this is where my first so the way I used to get client is obviously dressed apart. And as you manager, you are in a restaurant, You are the face of the brand. You go ask people how's the dinner, how's the experience, and then they ask, "I'm very good. I love your jacket. That's what I do. I'm start this on the side." So, has always been hospitality has give me the everything possible. So I utilize the opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us, who's your target clientele now? So
I have I just got back from Saudi. We work with some private personal shopper for some big clients. These open the door for a similar level of clientele. Um, at the very same time, I still have many of my friends in the industry, hospitality industry, GM, director, big position also, CEO, real estate. So I think I have enough data for me to define my client, I say, uh, target audience more or less. But I think I'd be able to establish myself in a way that, if you come to me, you don't have to spend 15K for a suit. Our entry price are from 3,000, 3,500 dirham and above. What I try to do is to bring in the same approach I did in hospitality. You want to explain people what we do. Why then you need to pay 15K for a suit while you can have 3.5. I need to be able to explain you step by step. So a lot of my clients originally they were the 3,500, they become the 10,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's and there is the world open in tailoring because there is different construction of a suit, a semi-manual, fully handmade, different type of canvas, different type like it can be a beautiful journey to start from a point and go somewhere else, right? And I think when as a business owner, you'll be able also to translate this message outside to the client. You build the relationship. This is what I noticed that we miss in my industry. We want the people come, boom, 10,000 dirham. We don't care if we see them anymore. My approach is a little different, right? I'd rather see you 3-4 times in a year with 4,000-5,000 dirham a suit rather than see you one time in your life and that's it.
Yeah. I think that's so important for building equity because now there's a lot of Italian brands that are setting shop here, founded by Italians, where the starting price for a two-piece suit could be 15,000 dirhams, 16,000 dirhams. Yes, it's lower piano, but you are then closing the door on people that are maybe not on the GM level or director level yet. But if they're coming to you, for example, you will know their budget. So how you are giving them the experience, the quality, and the craftsmanship within the budget, right? Because that person will be the director, the GM, or the CEO someday. And when they start moving from the 3.5K range to the 15,000-20,000 dirham suit, they've stuck with you because you built that relationship and now you've got that equity with them, which I think people don't give enough importance to.
Also because I think the culture we try, it's surfacing now. You see that people want the result now, fast. Yes, it is. In some occasion, I had a client, they come and they spend total amount for a suit. Yeah, that's been my good month, okay? But I think we are not patient to cut also the pants, the shirt, one single jacket, a pants and a t-shirt and also on, right? To build up this sort of relationship, knowing that these people one day they will be in a position to say, hey, I want to introduce you to the office I'm managing now. There is 10 broker. Come, do one day, open day, a trunk show in my office. Make some suit, and this itself has a value. And another thing I think to this is we want to be able to tell people why we charge them. Transparency in my industry is crucial. I will tell somebody the composition of the fabric because I want them to know what they pay for. Some brand, they tend to not disclose this, or they just put a big brand that we don't know where the suit has been made, who's the tailor behind. But I think transparency is a crucial point in our industry to make sure that we retain also those clients, and we are on their side. We not just try to take their money. I want people to know what they wear. I want to feel they proud and say, okay, this is where I'm wearing now. So transparency is a good place to start when we try to acquire clients.
Yeah. And what would you say you've noticed is the biggest fashion crime here?
White socks.
White socks?
I made this is one of the video that people still take fun of me. They send me stuff.
Yeah.
I say for any reason, I think this is a message that I want to share for the entire planet.
Yeah.
Okay, there is nothing wrong with your white
Yes,
socks.
I do.
Correct. Your outfit is perfect for the white socks. Okay,
Yes.
why? You have a white trainer, you have jeans, a white t-shirt. Okay, but
With that?
if I wear now, this is a crime. This is a very big
Yeah.
crime, you know. So I think it's good to start from the base of comes down to color, combination, what to wear with. There are 2-3 things that you wanna keep in
Yes.
consideration, you know. Dark goes with dark, light eventually goes with light. But I'm far away from white socks. I think I see some people wearing white socks thinking that, you know, they try to it's Michael Jackson style, you know.
I've seen
But
Nike sports socks on a 3-piece suit with
we want to
dress
avoid.
shoes.
We want to avoid this. This is especially because here you see there is a lot of corporate hub here. You know, you go to DFC, you go, you know, MR Business Park. You see, and sometimes you see those elements that they destroy the full outfit. You can have a beautiful build suit, no matter how much money you spend for, but if you pair with the wrong pair of shoes or socks, I
Yep.
think socks for me is a big thing. Yeah, so
Okay.
to make sure that people understand this,
It's a
white
very,
socks, don't.
very minor detail that I don't think people would think of. Okay, so we're gonna move to a segment of the show that we call "Do the Needful." Have you ever received an email like that? You know,
Yeah.
sir, send this. Do the needful. Similar to that, but essentially it's a rapid fire round. I'm going to be giving you some statements, and you need to tell me what's the first thing that comes to your head, mind, or what the choice would be. You ready to get started?
Anything, yeah? Boom, boom.
Anything, whatever
Let's go.
comes to your
Let's
mind.
go. Let's
All
go.
right, let's go. You need to order food.
Karim,
You need to go on a holiday.
Amalfi Coast,
You need to go on a date.
Dubai,
You need to buy an outfit for a date.
Don Fiorito,
You need to pick one color.
black.
You need to wear skinny jeans.
No.
You need to buy shoes.
Don Fiorito, but I would say Eden Milano,
Eden Milano. You need advice.
your father.
You need inspiration.
Go for a walk.
You need to pick the official outfit for Dubai Mall.
Don Fiorito.
You need to compliment my outfit.
No.
I love the honesty. I love the honesty. I wouldn't if I
I
were
feel like
you either.
there is a timer on me now to answer.
No, it's good to know that no
Yeah.
was the first thing that came to your
Yeah.
mind. I will burn my entire wardrobe and I will come to Don Farida right after this. So if you guys see me looking better in the next episode, you know,
From where
you
you
know who to
came from.
thank. You know who to thank. That's great. Thank you. We're gonna move to the last segment of the show. And thank you so much for being here, for sharing your story, or what inspired you, challenges you faced.
My pleasure.
Hopefully, a lot of people that are thinking of starting something, even if it's not in the fashion industry, can take this as inspiration. Especially, just go for it. Just start. Don't let the small things stop you. We do this thing at the show here, which is called Best Regards, and this is an email that you will read out, that you would like to send out to your supporters, your family, your friends, the people around you that have supported you through this journey. Could be one person, could be 15 people. Just an email thanking them, appreciating them.
Okay. They're family and friends. I thank you immensely to support my journey and shifting from one industry to another, to believe in my brand, even in the darkest days. At the very same time, this best regard goes to many who didn't believe. I don't think I have any haters, but I think non-believers a lot, right? So I do believe that the amount of people who laugh at me and didn't believe in me and joke on my idea, has been edifying as much as the supporter, right? I want to praise God for allowing me to fulfill this, for the boldness that come through the faith. And I want to also, one last thing, I want to thank you, everybody who disappointed me, because this has been a very good fundamental for me in business. Know that in a way or the other, somebody will disappoint you. So we want to get over this. Best regards, Don Fiorito.
I think that's beautiful. There's people thank supporters, but this is the first time on the show where someone's actually thanked the people that didn't support or believe, and it's beautiful to find it in you, to use that as motivation. That brings us to the end of our show. Thank you so much for being here. Indeed. Such a very interesting story, and I think you'll be seeing us at the store very soon, and I'm hoping you can fix this.
We make you a little Don.
Thank God you said yes, right? I was really thinking you'd be like, yeah, I'm not a magician.
Hopeless.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
All the best. Thank you.